Welcome to Unfrazzle. I'm your host, Louise Miller, and one of the ways in which I'm creating space to enjoy my summer is by having a break from recording new podcast episodes for a while. Instead, I'm doing an Unfrazzle Summer Rewind, sharing some of my favourite episodes from the last year. So if you're hearing them for the first time, I hope you find them helpful, and if you've heard them before, perhaps you'll take something different from them the second time around. So have an amazing summer, and I'll be back in your ears with new episodes soon. If you want to make a bigger impact, you need what I often refer to as the 3 I's. You need inspiration, information, and implementation. Inspiration is where your brilliant ideas come from, right? It's your creativity. It's the thing that motivates and excites you. And information helps you figure out how to do the things you need to do. It's knowledge, it's learning, it's gathering all of that information in and then evaluating it so that you have a really clear sense of direction and strategy. And then there's implementation, which is where you actually follow through, take action and finish the things that you start. And if you throw in a healthy, positive mindset, you have everything that you need to succeed. And that is why if you're not where you want to be in your business and you're not quite sure why, reflecting on which of those 3 I's is tripping you up can be a really great place to start. And what's interesting is that as well as being essential ingredients in your success, each of those 3 I's also has a dark side. So let's look at that first I first, inspiration. There are a few different ways that this one can trip you up. And many of my clients are idea generating machines. They've got loads of ideas, whether that's for services they could offer, content they could create, new collaborations or things they would love to try. When inspiration strikes, the urge to follow it is strong. But if you follow the thread of every single new idea that pops into your head, you drive yourself bonkers, pinging around all over the place, trying to do all the things and leaving a trail of half-finished projects in your wake. Or there are those moments when you sit down to create something big, but you're just not feeling inspired, where instead of having too much inspiration, if there can be such a thing, you suddenly don't have any. And what do you do when that happens? Do you passively wait for inspiration to strike? Or do you get proactive by thinking about what inspires you and then doing that? So for some people, that might be going out for a walk or taking a book to your favourite coffee place. It could be listening to some music with the volume turned up and having a dance around the kitchen. It might be that you realise you feel more inspired when you're sitting on the sofa rather than at your desk. So this will look different for everyone, but the point is there are things you can do to give yourself a boost of inspiration rather than waiting for it to find you. And then there's the second I, information. Now, I think we can all agree that there is no shortage of information these days. We have everything we could ever need in our pockets. And whilst on the one hand, that feels like a good thing, it's a damn sight easier than when I was at university standing in front of shelves full of books with absolutely no clue where to start looking. It's great that we have so much information available to us these days, but that's also a double-edged sword. Because I often see business owners get stuck in learning mode. They keep buying courses, reading books or watching videos. They're doing everything they can to gather more information, waiting for the moment when they feel they know enough before they actually take any action. You can trick yourself into thinking that this is a valid and sensible approach by saying to yourself, if I'm going to do this, I may as well do it properly. But I think we all know that there is so much information out there, much of which is contradictory and none of which is right for everyone, that it's easy to become overwhelmed and bamboozled. And when you're overwhelmed and bamboozled, it's very hard to take action. Which brings us nicely on to the third I, implementation. And this is probably the least sexy of the 3 I's, but in my view, it's the most important because you can have all the inspiration and information in the world, but without implementation, none of that makes any difference. It just ends up gathering dust in notebooks. Because the only way to make an impact is to take action. And just as there are pitfalls with having too much information and too much inspiration, strange as it might seem, it's also possible to lean too far into implementation. And that's where you feel like there is so much that you need to do. You just keep your head down and you just keep going. You're on the hamster wheel, doing all the things, taking all the actions, spinning all the plates. But when all you're doing is doing, you're often missing the bigger picture. And weeks or even months can go by before you realise that actually all you've been doing is busy work that isn't actually moving the needle for you. So does any of that resonate for you? Are you already getting a sense of which of those 3 I's tends to trip you up? So if you're feeling stuck or you're not where you want to be right now, it might be worth asking yourself the following questions. Do you need a dose of inspiration to give you fresh ideas and fire you up? Or do you have too many ideas and you need to practice discernment by choosing which to commit to right now? Are things not getting done because there's something you don't yet know and you need more information? Or have you fallen into the trap of thinking you don't know enough and now you have too much information? Are you not fulfilling your potential because you struggle with implementation and need some help getting and staying focused? Or have you been so busy doing that you need to take a pause and connect back in with the bigger picture, reconnect with that motivation, that excitement, that vision of what you're aiming to achieve? And once you're clear which of the 3 I's is slowing your progress, it is so much easier to see the solution that will serve you best. So if you have a knowledge gap, what will you do to gather the information you need without getting stuck in learning mode? If you're in need of some inspiration, who or what can help you find that? If you're struggling to stay focused and take consistent action on the most important things, who or what can help you be more productive? And that's the thing that I love to help people with. And there's a link in the show notes about how to work with me. So do go and check that out if you know it's implementation that's holding you back. But which of the 3 I's do you need to focus on to get closer to your big, beautiful vision? And what action can you take this week to address that? So as always, I hope that this helps and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you for listening to Unfrazzle. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who needs a dose of calm productivity in their life. And I'd love it if you could leave me a rating and a review, as that will help more people discover this podcast. If you'd like to hear more from me to help you stop faffing and take back control of your time, you'll find a link to join my mailing list in the show notes, and I would really love for you to join us. So thanks so much for your support, and I look forward to seeing you next time.